So, ready to? You're ready where you want. Okay? Now cue it. Cue it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of SportsBeat TV. I'm your host, Ashley Williams. I'm here with my co-host, Dave Hall.
Ashley, we got a great show lined up tonight for everyone. We have with us tonight James Broadous. He is the head coach at De La Salle North Catholic High School, head basketball coach. They are the defending state champions, and he is the 2018 3A Oregon High School Coach of the Year. He's been at De La Salle for 6 years. In those 6 years, they've had 3 state runner-ups and last year's state champions, and they've got a host of their players back here. Things are looking really great over at De La Salle.
Yeah, that'll be our first guest. We're here at Rose City Futsal. This is a great location. You can probably see soccer balls flying and hear it a little bit in the acoustics. So that'll be our first guest. Then we have a couple more coming on.
Well, we're going to be joined. We're going to talk to James for just a little while, and then we're going to bring on 4 of his senior players and talk about the upcoming season. We'll talk a little bit about De La Salle High School. So, Coach, thanks for joining us tonight. You and I have worked together over the last couple of years. We've done a couple of football games together.
Couple of football games, and I had a great time doing it.
I had a great time too, but you're here because you are the state champions in 3A basketball. Tell us about your play last year. I think you guys were 25-1, 23-1, something.
27-1.
27-1.
27-1. Yeah, we had a lot of guys returning from the year before, and you know, in high school sports, if you can have that experience, that means a lot. And so we were able to return guys. We didn't have to start over. We were able to just continue building the system that we have. And we went probably about 10 deep, you know, so we were able to just keep bringing guys in and just sort of wearing teams down. That was pretty much the smoke behind all the mirrors, was just pressure, wearing teams down and using our depth. And
I happened to do one of your games last year. I broadcast your game against Claskenai. You play in the Salvation Army gym over in North Portland, a great little facility.
Yes.
And that's what impressed me about your team. You're high octane. You run up and down the court and pretty much wear teams out.
Yes, we do. I mean, again, you come in and you take a look at what type of team do you have. We don't have a lot of height. I think this year we had a guy who was 6'4", and that's the tallest guy I've ever had while we had De La Salle. So we have, we usually hit small guys, quick guys, so we use what we have. And again, we were able to continue building our program and bringing up freshmen. They've gone through the program, so we were fortunate enough to have quite a few players be able to come off the bench and contribute. So we really get after it. Our practices, if you come to see our practices, and I invite you to see our practices, but you'll see them getting after it, so the games will look just like our practices.
For our fans who are not familiar with De La Salle North Catholic, you play in the Lewis and Clark League, is that right?
The Lewis and Clark League.
Tell our viewers a little bit about what league that is, who the teams are in that league.
Well, the Lewis and Clark League, and it's funny because this year we have transitioned in the new, you know, with the realignment. So up until this year, we've had pretty much a split of private schools and public schools. So we play schools like Catlin Gable, Oregon Episcopal, Portland Adventist. We went all the way down to Warrenton. Warrenton is down off the coast. We played Rainier High School, Claskenai. So we pretty much covered a lot of Portland or a lot of Oregon within our Lewis and Clark League. So this year, though, we've added Westside Christian, Horizon Christian, and Warrenton, Rainier, Claskenai. They've all gone to their own conference.
I might mention, you mentioned those teams, and there's some really good teams in that league. You're the 4-time defending champion in that league.
Oh yeah, I think when we came in, we realized how tough this is. I used to coach at Grant High School with my brother, played 6A basketball, Jefferson, but didn't really understand 3A basketball. A lot of people feel like there's not a lot of talent, or it's, you know, it's a smaller school, smaller division, so it doesn't get the respect that it should. So when I came in, I found out immediately that this is good basketball. There are some good coaches in this conference and a lot of good schools. So I think for a while we've had the toughest conference in the state. And so I think that continued to sort of help build our program as well.
I might have mentioned you're the 2018 3A Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that honor.
Thank you.
And you also mentioned that you had worked at Grant High School. For our listeners not familiar, your son Andre was the 2006, 2008 first team All-State quarterback. Went on to quarterback at Cal Poly.
Yes, he had a great career. He was also player of the year that year as well. Yeah, he did good. He was over at Grant under Diallo Lewis as the head coach. Played quarterback for 3 years. Went on to Cal Poly. 3-year starter at Cal Poly quarterback, and now he's doing big things in real estate. So got his degree from Cal Poly, and I always talk about the advantage that he came out of there with only $5,000 in debt from school. So, you know, we all know what that means.
Yeah.
So he's doing well.
So tell us a little bit about last season, how that all worked out, and some of your star players from last season.
Well, the year before, let me go back a little bit. The year before, we lost in the championship game, and that was actually a surprise to a lot of people. They didn't think that we were going to make it, but we made it back to the championship game for the second year in a row. And when we lost, anytime you lose, it can be a learning experience. And our guys in that locker room, I can remember there was a lot of tears, coaches included, but players, they had, again, made a commitment to coming back and making sure that they made it back, as their battle cry was back to the Bay. So they wanted to make sure that they came back. And when we started the season off, the coaches and I just were sort of amazed at how well our seniors had taken the leadership role. And so when we started the season, you would have thought it was mid-season because these guys were focused. They had all bought in. So when we started rolling, we lost like our third game of the year to Horizon Christian. And from that point on, it was just, you know, all systems go, and everybody. Again, when you can have a team where guys are not getting in trouble, you don't lose kids to grades. We had our highest GPA as a team than we've ever had. So the guys were really focused on trying to get back to the Bay and win this championship.
Well, if your focus last year was getting back to the championship, now that you've won it, what's your focus this year?
Now we have to repeat. You know, and we talk about being the hunted now, you know, and so it's going to be interesting to see. You know, that's a whole nother level of preparation.
Not going to sneak up on anybody.
Not going to sneak up on anybody, you know. We lost two starting seniors. We lost 5 in total. One was the state player of the year, and he's gone to Hawaii to try to walk on. He had a lot of academic scholarships, so he wanted to go to Hawaii. He didn't want to turn his academic scholarships away. So he's gone on, and so we have, you know, we'll meet some of them later on, but we have some of our juniors that have been a part of the program for 3 years now. This will be their 4th year, so they completely understand the system, so I'm looking forward to them being able to lead us.
You talk with pride about your students and how well they do academically. You're not only the basketball coach, you're the dean of students.
Yeah, so they don't really have a choice. If you ask them, you know, it's funny, at school, some of the students that don't play basketball, they say they think that the basketball players get treated easier. But I tell them and I tell the teachers and anybody that'll listen, just ask the basketball players if they feel like they get it treated differently. So it's a great opportunity. When I was coaching previously, I was never able to work in the school and coach. So my goal was to finally be able to get to the point where I could work in the same school that I coached. 6 years ago, I was afforded this opportunity, and it means a lot to be able to be at the school, see the kids every day, make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're teenage boys, so we know teenage boys, but they've been able to, you know, pretty much be model citizens.
We're going to bring your players on in just a minute. Before we do that, maybe you could, I know that your school is going to have to move sometime in the near future. What's the situation on that?
Well, our lease, we were able to get out of our lease. We've been leasing a building from Portland Public Schools for the last 18 years, or well, 11 years. We or something like that. Don't quote me on the number, but it's been a while, and we're able now to get out of that lease. We want to get out of the lease. We've been paying Portland Public Schools a lot of money, and quite frankly, not really receiving what we should when you consider how much money we pay. We really don't have the facilities to hold the number of students that we want to get our school to.
I know you don't have a gym or a football field at all either.
We don't have a gym, we don't have a football field, we don't have soccer, so everything that we do we have to, you know, lease out. We have, like you said, we play our games at the Salvation Army. And just as another sort of tribute to my players, knowing that we don't have our own home facility. For a while there, we were practicing. One year, we practiced at 9 different facilities. We would go week to week trying to figure out where we were going to practice. And so, and again, so it's just sort of always talk about how it builds character. And we've been able to, again, be fortunate and continue success. So,
all right, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to bring 4 of your players on. When we come back, we'll have you introduce the players, and Ashley and I will talk to them for a bit, okay?
All right, this should be fun.
All right, we're going to bring on some players, the De La Salle North Catholic High School players, the defending state champions. We'll be right back in just a minute.
Got it.
All right, welcome back. Here again at Rose City Futsal in Portland. Here with the head coach of De La Salle basketball team, James Broadous. We have a couple of your players on, all seniors. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you introduce all of the players.
All right, over here to the far right is senior Kadeem Nelson. This is Theo Aclan, Traveon Johnson, and Anthony Mosley.
All right, guys. Coach said that you were all respectable, upstanding citizens, and you're going to do your school proud. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You know, when we were talking here in the beginning before we went on the air, I said, who's the point guard here? Who's in charge of all of this? And Theo told me he was. And I asked him, what is this? And he said, it's a circus.
And that's about right. It is. It's a circus. These guys, they have fun. You know, and I think actually that's the way you're supposed to play. They're teenage boys. They have fun. They have fun with each other. We sort of, they tease me, I tease them. But when we get on the basketball court, it's all business.
You all are seniors. So this is your 4th year. Some of you I know have transferred, but this is your 4th year at De La Salle. In those 3 years, you've been the state runner-up twice and the state champion once. That's a pretty good resume. Okay? All right, let's talk to Kadeem for just a second. Kadeem, senior.
Yeah.
Is this, how long have you been in the program?
For all 4 years.
All 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, and being a senior, you got plans for next year?
Win state.
And after that, what do you want to do?
Play college basketball.
You're going to play college ball?
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, you got any interest anywhere so far? You're
Yeah,
looking
I
at some schools?
I had UNLV send me a letter. I had University of Chicago send me a letter too.
Oh, okay, so you've gotten some interest already.
Yeah.
What do you want to do in the future?
Either go in the medical field or continue to play basketball.
Okay. Tell us about your 4 years or your 3 years so far at De La Salle North Catholic. What stood out to you?
Our winning program. It's been a roller coaster going up and down. You know, I played JV my freshman year because I didn't work hard, and then my sophomore year I played varsity and became the second. It was heartbreaking. I cried a lot. Yeah.
So for a lot of you guys, I'm sure you play traveling ball, like when season's not in. How's it different from some of the people you play with who might go to like Grant or Jefferson than comparing to you guys that go to like a private school? Anyone can answer.
You want to answer that, Anthony?
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's kind of more competitive, more like hustle, more fast. So it's kind of more of a challenge, I guess, playing up in competition. So, yeah.
Also with that, like we see those guys, like those are our friends and stuff, like from different schools, and so like playing in things like the SCI camp and things like that, we get a realization of like the other competition from different schools, and honestly we don't doubt ourselves. We play with them, we can hold our own, and so it's different. Like we say, like that's a whole different realm, but we're prepared for it, I think.
Theo, when I said who's the point guard, you owned up to that right away. You're the guy in charge.
Yes, sir.
And what's it like playing with all these guys?
It's a lot of fun. They share the ball, and it's just jokes all around. And like he said, it's like when it's time to get down to business, we get it done.
We talked to your coach before we had you guys come on here, and he said we like to get after it. We like to push the ball. We go 10 deep. We play everybody, and we run up and down the court. I did one of your games last year, your Platsky night game, and that was my impression, was that you guys really got after it.
Yes, we do.
And is point guard a position you've been playing all along?
Yes.
You like playing there?
Yeah, I do. It's pretty much my position because I'm a shorter basketball player. Yeah, I embrace it.
Theo's the guy that pretty much sets our defense. You know, again, you're going to see us going up and down, but it's not really just run and gun. It's really a lot of pressure defense. And he's the guy that's up front that whoever he's guarding is going to have a hard time bringing that basketball up the court. And when they make that first pass or something, then that's when these guys come into action, coming and trapping and getting a lot of steals. So Theo's the guy that pretty much makes everything go for us.
Coach, when I did your game last year, that was the impression I had, is you guys pressed all the time. You pressed right away, and when you had to get back on defense, you were swarming on defense. You caused a lot of ball handling troubles for opposing teams, and I didn't remember that Theo was out front on that.
Yeah, that's what he does. And he came in as a freshman, was able to he made the varsity team as a freshman. And it wasn't just on the team just to be on the team. You know, he was on the team and he played hard. And like Kadeem alluded to, he didn't play varsity his freshman year because he didn't work hard. But he got it, and then he works hard. If you work hard, you're gonna play. And that's really, I got one rule. If you're not working hard, you don't play. It's just, there's no debate, and they bought into that, and they've been able to teach the younger kids that come in, and that's again one of the reasons why we have had sort of the success that we've had.
You had a couple of seniors who graduated last year. You got new people coming in. You're gonna get them in line too?
Yes, that's the plan. we're trying to get in line for a repeat for another state championship.
What's your plans after high school?
Well, go to college, hopefully. Well, that's the plan, and hopefully I can play college basketball somewhere else.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do in life after that?
I want to be an engineer when I grow up. I don't know what yet, but hopefully some type.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, I see you guys all have your bling out here.
Oh,
How
this
was it?
You
I
talking about this?
feel a little left out. How was it when you guys finally won state? I mean, were you guys walking on campus like big man on campus, or was it like, oh, everyone already knew you were gonna win? How was that?
That's the thing. Everyone was like, oh, you guys gonna win this year? You guys gonna lose this year or something like that when we came back. But like coming back, so it was just like, it still gives me shakes and stuff thinking about it. Like when we ran out to the middle of the floor and stuff, I didn't even know what to do. I like jumped over everybody and stuff. And it was just crazy. But like just to finally win it after like having years of just losing like right there, like really being right there and stuff, and just having it in the moment, it's crazy. I want to do it again.
Do any of you play any other sports?
Yeah.
Who plays other sports?
I do track and field, and I do soccer, and then I do track and field.
Track and field?
Soccer.
You guys?
I played football in middle school, but I just scared my elbow, so I stopped playing football.
Notice you see so many players nowadays who just play one sport, and each of you guys is playing more than one. It's good. Traveon, let's talk to you for a second.
Yes.
Tell us about your career at De La Salle North.
I guess it was crazy because I honestly, like, when I was applying for schools, I wasn't even thinking about De La Salle. And I was thinking about like Central Catholic, a 6A school or something like that. And then look where I'm at, you know. Playing basketball, I always been fond of it, and when I was younger, and I came into like the summer leagues and stuff like that, and I was a big kid, and Broadous is like, yeah, he's like, let's go, let's try him out, and just playing on the team and stuff from freshman year like to now has just been a great experience. I've learned so much from being a man to just being a better basketball player in general, and so I've been grateful for that. And, yeah.
Your team seems very close on the court. Are you that way off the court?
Yes, it almost too close. we do some crazy stuff, but it's all love. Like at the end of the day, like, you know, we get kind of like rambled, but like joking and stuff like that. But no, it's really all love.
What do you see for the upcoming season for you?
Man, bright lights. Whatever that means. I mean, hopefully winning. We work our butts off in the off season, so hopefully that should pay off.
You know, I was just thinking when your coach was telling me about the other teams in your league, you're one of those teams that's got to travel a lot. Yeah. How's that go?
Well, we look at it as an opportunity because at the end of the day, when we play for the state championship, you have to travel to Cruz Bay. So any opportunity we get to travel, stay overnight, we sort of embrace it, and we always talk about this is preparing us for the end result. So, and these guys, they like to travel. Again, you mentioned how close they are. They like to hang out. So when we can go, and it's a strain on me and the coaching staff, but they get to have a good time. And you know, again, teenage boys being able to stay in a hotel, stay overnight. This year we're going to Spokane. We're also going up to Linden, Washington, which is right on the border, close to Canada, and we'll venture on into Canada. And so, you know, they enjoy it. We enjoy it.
So you're going to play in a couple of out-of-state tournaments?
Yeah. Again, and for some coaches, they ask us a lot about why do you do that? It's not helping your RPI and all that. Right. But I tell them the same thing. It's about experiences. At some point, this is all going to be about memories. And to give these guys the opportunity to do that, to me, that's more important than RPI. At the end of the day, you just have to win your basketball game. No matter who you play, where they put you on the bracket. If you win, then you'll be champion. So it doesn't really bother.
And Traveon, what are your plans after high school?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to go to college. Hopefully on a full ride or just get some kind of scholarship and stuff. I've been going back and forth trying to figure out what I really want to do. Maybe it's medical field. Maybe I want to like kind of take a different route and make movies or something like that. I've been talking with a lot of my friends about what I really want to do with some teachers, so we'll see what I do, but hopefully it's something.
You got plenty of time to decide. Saying I want to go to college is the first step and a big step.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, we saved you for last. Tell us a little bit about your experience at De La Salle.
It's been a great, long experience. Basketball-wise, I think it's been a great experience. I've never been on a team that's been so close together. Everyone gets along with the coach that also goofs around with the kids on and off the court. So, and we always work hard. Yeah.
Have you been on varsity all 3 years?
I've been on varsity 3 years. I was on JV for my freshman year because I had bad behavior.
We've solved that, right?
Yeah.
Coach, you have a JV team and a varsity team?
Yes, just JV varsity, no freshman team. So, and we very rarely have cuts. So, if you're a freshman, then you'll most likely play JV. These two guys are probably the only freshmen that play varsity.
Anthony, what position do you play?
Everyone.
I noticed, Coach, you mentioned too earlier, you don't have a lot of height, so your players are probably pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, this guy is our power forward. So, and he's literally, what, 5'9". 5'9". He's a power forward. Well, we really play positionless basketball, but if you had to put him in something, he would be starting as the 4. And, you know, but he plays hard. He fights. He's not intimidated by anybody, so.
You got to play against guys who might be pretty big for you to guard.
Yeah. It all comes down to heart.
And you have it.
Yep.
What do you want to do when you finish up at high school?
I want to go to college. Plan on going on full ride or mostly paid for. And I want to become an engineer or architect. Not quite sure yet.
We've had a number of you say you want to be engineers.
Well, we have a program at De La Salle where they partner with U of P to do an engineering program, and I think all 3 of you guys, they all signed up for that, and they all took that class, so I think it's probably something that they want to do.
Coach, it just seems sitting here and listening to your players, your team is very close.
It is. It's really like a dream come true, to be honest with you, and it's not just sort of cliche. I mean, they really like each other. I could come to practice late, and they will have already started practice. The guys will be in line. They know what to do. There's going to be goofing off. There's going to be times where they, you know, fall off. But for the most part, it's like a dream. You know, like Anthony said, we clown around, but when it's on the court, then it's all business. Off the court, we have a couple students at 3.85 GPAs, at 1.4.0 students, but then they got cute and discovered girls. But you know, again, just good people, good families. So I really enjoy my job.
Ashley?
No, I think we're good. You guys were talkative. You make it easy.
Coach, final comments about the basketball program the upcoming year at De La Salle North Catholic.
Well, we are really looking forward to this upcoming season. It's one thing about trying to achieve the goal, but then it's another thing about trying to defend the goal. So we won it. We get to sport these bling. When the season starts, I won't allow them to wear these rings anymore. It'll be time for business. But again, there's an exciting brand of basketball. So if you have the opportunity to come to the Salvation Army and watch us play, you won't be disappointed. It'll be a fun game to come.
Great little facility to play at over there. Your games are exciting. Your team runs up and down the court, plays fast-paced offense and tenacious defense. We're going to follow you this year. Maybe we can get to another one of your games. Maybe we could have you on again sometime in the future. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for bringing your 4 gentlemen who are headed that, hoping to get back to the state championship.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's our show for tonight. The head coach of De La Salle North Catholic High School, James Broadous, joined by our 4 players. Thanks for joining us. We've been here at Rose City Futsal. Ashley, any final thoughts?
No. I think we're going to take a break and get some more guests on.
I think we're going to conclude and want to thank Rose City Futsal for their wonderful facilities. Our producer tonight, Ryan Johnson, our director, Jim Thompson. Good night, everybody.